Alright, folks, we are back. I kind of decided to just hop into Pokopia for a little bit because there's one thing I wanted to do before I update to the current patch. And I felt like if I was going to do anything else, like Elliot, I would probably end up doing for too long. And I feel like more people would want to be able to see that and stuff. Xenoblade, if I wanted to explore the Xenoblade 2 update, I felt like that would take a while. And I don't know how much I've got in me, but I wanted to go ahead and get something done because I built up something to that I wanted to do. And I'll probably go ahead and splice up this VOD at some point and upload it as a separate thing. But for now, let's go ahead. By the way, anybody watching the weather? Is it supposed to be crazy for me? I haven't really been paying attention because I tried to figure out exactly what I wanted to do for the last couple hours of the stream. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do Pokopia. I'm actually gonna go ahead and swap controllers here because I don't want to be mashing A on a controller that I actually care about. I want one that'll actually last a bit. So I'm gonna use I'm going to use this, and then I guess do that again because for some reason the Switch 2 controller turned on, so go ahead and do this proper. Golden Freddy, welcome in. How you doing? I might remember you. The name does ring a bell, but I'm not sure if that's just because of, you know, the character or... Dude, why is this not... There we go. Okay, let me make sure... There we go. We're just gonna start software because I want to go into this pre-patch. And we're gonna be on a bit of a ride, alright, folks? So, what we have going on here, this is going to be basically... I said that I would be doing this as I was building up Lost Relics. But the stream for the next while is going to be me mashing the A button while we get individual items appraised and seeing where we go from there. Alright. Looking nice. But yeah, here we go. I built up, I calced it exactly. I have 1,002 Lost Relics. And we're going to do all of them. We're going to go see Professor Tangrowth and have him... Oh yeah, I'm over here. I forgot about that. We're going to have him analyze all of these for us, grueling and painstakingly one at a time. Let me go ahead... That's probably pretty good. Right. Audio balancing and loading issues aside. Yeah, so I'm going to bring all of these to Professor Tangrowth. We're gonna see what we get out of 1,000 Lost Relics, what we end up getting, and I guess what we have the most of. And we're just gonna chat about it for a bit. So, you know, I was talking about dinner earlier doing Donkey Kong Land remake, but for anybody that might be wanting to you know, get a snack, get some food, yeah, go ahead. Now is a good time. I don't have a fully clear inventory. I'll go ahead and dump everything and then just get the relics so that way we see, you know, all of what we have. I have also been playing on the side. I'll probably show that off after either tomorrow or after all of the appraisal. But yeah, we have a whole lot going on here. So let's go ahead and just dump all of this crap off. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this stuff because I do have a few things that I can dump off upstairs and stuff. And then I can go ahead and do that, because space is kind of on a premium, so... Okay, so we can't get rid of that. We can get rid of these. I don't know if there were more bottles down there. If there were, oh freaking well. But yeah, while we get the setup underway, definitely go ahead and get yourselves a snack and a glass of orange juice, because we're going to be doing this for a bit. A hot minute, even. Alright, hopefully that's enough to get everything put away here. Looking like it is. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab these. I have many less small relics, which kind of sucks, but whatever, that's just how it is. Which is funny because at the beginning of the game we had more small relics than large ones. But here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4 100 of these ones. And then between the large and the small ones here, that'll make up the rest of them. So let's go ahead. Let's pick a good spot. Should we do the Pokemon Center here? Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. The house at Bleak Beach has kind of become like my house. So let's go ahead and do it here. All right. Look at this. We're starting with number 1. Appraise this. That is a spaceship! Humans used this long ago! Alright, so he's gonna tell us most of the same stuff as we go through. I haven't seen almost any of these. So we're just gonna go through and do these one at a time. And I guess we're just gonna go ahead and do the large ones first. Or maybe mix them up and kind of change as we go. That is a blue meteor lamp. That's one of the ones I already have, actually. It looks like if we've already gotten it, he'll just cut to the chase. He won't say, oh, this is, you know, how humans used it, and I don't know. We can get cast form weather charms from these? That's fucking horrible. Dude, you can get cast form weather charms anywhere. Why would you get them from this? That is a repel. That is one we've gotten before. So yeah, most of these relics I have not seen before. So, these are all going to be relatively new to me. I don't know. Hey, the red meteor lamp. I don't know exactly what you can get out of all of these. I don't know. The most I know is that the large ones give you furniture, and the small ones you put in like frames and whatnot. And that's about all I know. So that is an eerie candle. Yeah, we're just gonna do this one at a time and see what it's like. I guess I'm gonna give myself arthritis at this point. A mysterious pedestal? Are you talking about the gray ones? Oh my god, you can get these too? Dude, these are scams. A Wobbuffet Wobbler. We've got a couple of those before. I've thought about setting up a turbo controller. I do have a turbo controller that I could get, and I've thought about putting it in, or putting it on, because this is gonna take a while, and there's a lot to get. It's also going slower than I thought. Like, if I just sit here and mash A. Oh my god, this takes so long. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and get the turbo controller now. Let's just do that, because this is going to take so long that even mashing A, you're not going to be able to get through it. So, let's, go ahead and get that. I hope this has plenty of battery. Dude, this controller freezes with the Switch 2 UI so much, I don't get it. I do not understand why this controller likes to freeze up. All right. So he's just gonna go through. I have the turbo set up now. My other controller that I was using does have a turbo feature, but I don't know how to actually use it, so. Oh my god, take a look at this. This is going as fast as possible. The A button is being pressed every other frame. That is what happens with these turbo controllers. And this is Funky Diffuser? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. This is how long this takes. This is ridiculous, dude. A town map. Oh, that's cool. There we go. All right, that's a nice new angle. Try and change up the angle every so often. Violet meteor lamp. Okay, really quick, I actually forgot something. While that's going, I wanted to go ahead and also try and get my Yancy and Curtis for the day because I kind of forgot about those. And I have 6 minutes to get those, so I gotta be kind of quick on that. But we're gonna see if I can get these while we're looking at everything we get here. So another violet meteor lamp, interesting. Dude, this takes so long. So the update I saw, the update does let you do 10 at a time. And I wanted to specifically do this without the update so we could see how long this is going to take. And, yeah, are you taking a look at this, folks? This is actually crazy. One of my accounts got Yancy instantly. That was cool. Oh, one of those Raichu signs. Cool. I cannot believe how long this is taking. This is actually ridiculous. What did that say? A bouncy bathtub? A bouncy blue bathtub. Wow, I got both Yancy and Curtis so fast. First and second checks of the areas. That's crazy. For anyone that doesn't know, while we're doing this, the Yancy and Curtis side quests are things that you can do in Black 2 and White 2 that ultimately lead to what is essentially like pseudo dates. And at the end of these dates, every day, you can get one every single day. But you have to go to the routes where you got the specific calls from. It's a very, very long side quest, and it's kind of painful. But at the end of these, fiery Magby statues, that's how you get that. At the end of these, you get trades that you can do every day, and they have like 12 or 15 Pokemon or something that are unique to them, and they just cycle out as you do them. But again, it's at midnight, and right now it is 11:56 as we are slowly working our way through all of these. The sheer amount of relics we have here. I figured it was gonna be like this. I kind of thought that I would do some and then set up turbo, like, you know, do more than I did before setting up turbo. But this is so slow. This is so slow. I had to turn on turbo earlier over going through that myself because this is horrible. This is flat out awful. And I kind of wonder what it's going to look like when you do 10 at a time, because that's going to be so much faster, and he's probably just going to have some generic dialogue to say, here's all the stuff you got. But, yeah, this is unreal. A bike? Good chance to get a drink, too, folks. A garden ornament. Let's take a look at that later. Now, the good thing is everything we get will actually stack, so that's going to be cool. So, like, if we get 3,000 meteor lamps, we're going to have, you know, a bunch of stacks of meteor lamps, so that'll be cool. But, yeah, this isn't just as painful as I thought it was going to be. This is already more painful. We're 33 through. And it's taking... This recording, I don't know how long this recording's been. It's been 20 minutes since I restarted. Give or take, we're gonna say it's been 15 minutes since I started appraising. No, we'll say 13 minutes, because I came back, I had, yeah, let's call it 10. I can actually see, what did I calculate at before? I think it's 10 seconds every time. So, after he says, would you like me to appraise another one? Let's see how far this takes. Okay, so it has taken 6 seconds, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are at 10 seconds for a full cycle. To get back to that was 14 seconds. Which I think is what I said before, right? When I did this earlier, I think I said 10 to 15 seconds every time. Which means it takes... You can only do 4 of these a cycle. Like, 4 of these a minute. Which means that you end up doing... What, 240 of these in an hour? Oh my god! That means this is gonna take 4 hours! You gotta be joking! It's gonna take 4 hours of this? Did I do that right? Let me see. Let me pull up my calculator. So, if you can do 4 in a minute, and there's 60 minutes in an hour, so it's going to be 4 times 60. That's 240. That means you do 240 in an hour. I have over 1,000 of these, which means 240 times 4 is 960, which means that's not even all of them, and it would take 4 hours. This is gonna be a 4-hour VOD. This is the worst. I don't know if I can stay up and do 4 hours of this. I didn't think it was gonna take this long. No wonder they let you do 10 at a time. Even if we updated and did 10 at a time, that would mean we're doing 40 in a minute, and that would be 40 times 60. So, if I had 2,400, we could do 2,400 in an hour. But that also means that in a half hour is 1,200, which means in about 25 minutes, it would take us 25 minutes to go through 1,000 relics. Somewhere around 25 to 30, well, let's see. We can easily figure that out. So if we're at 1,200, you take out 40. Yeah, so it would still take around 25 to 30 minutes. And this is depending on how much dialogue Tangrowth has. But it's somewhere around the 27-minute mark, give or take. And again, that's going in blind because I don't know if he has dialogue that he'll say, so we'll just say it takes roughly half an hour. That is ridiculous. So I guess we're not going to be doing 1,000 in one stream because apparently this is going to take more. This is going to take until 4 in the morning to see 1,000 items in between. So I think what we'll do here is we'll do this for a couple hours and see how far we get. And then we can go ahead and update, and then like either tomorrow or like maybe even in the same stream, we can go ahead and do. Yeah, you know what? We'll just do this until we get to a point where I'm ready to call it, and then after that we can update the game, and then see how fast it is with doing 10 at a time. At least we have our boy Clodsire to help keep us company, right? Clodsire is here to make sure we're happy. Look at all that fluff over by Marie. Holy crap. Yeah, look at this. This is the angle right here. Unreal. This is actually deranged. Can you believe that they thought this was perfectly fine to do? This, keep in mind, every single one you're seeing is about 15 seconds, maybe slightly under, because we technically have a task going to keep it going as fast as possible. Wow, one of these two accounts already got Curtis back. That's cool. But yeah, keep in mind that every single one of these is like 15 seconds or more. And they just thought that all of these animations and everything were perfectly fine. Like, oh my god, wiggly mirror? That's cool. I mean, at this point, okay, we gotta see how long it takes for him before, like, when we hand him the item. Like, how long that cycle is. I didn't get the chance to do it. So, from the second I select the item, we'll see how long that takes. That was 6 seconds. I think that was over 6 seconds before dialogue even came back up. That's horrible. Yeah, that's about 6 seconds. From the second you select the item to hand him, that is like 6 seconds of just animation. Oh my god, dude, that is upsetting. Oh, that's cool. It's wintertime in one of my files for Black 2 White 2. And when I'm calling Yancy, there's actually snow falling in the background. That's cool. These games are so good. I wish these could have lasted longer, because I feel like Black 2 White 2 didn't get to last and get their limelight, especially now, like, posthumously. I think people say posthumously, or posthumous. I don't know how people pronounce that. But, yeah, basically, in this game's post-mortem, this game deserves a whole lot more love. I genuinely cannot believe how long this takes. I knew this was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. I should have just mathed it out. But I thought, nah, surely I can do it in a stream. It'll take a couple hours, but it'll be fun. If it did take 10 seconds, by the way, let me pull up my calculator again. If it took 10 seconds instead of 15... which would be a 50% speed increase. So to be able to get 6 done in a minute, it would take 300. You would get 360 done in an hour, give or take. And that would mean that it would take, you know, 2.5 hours. It'd take closer to 3. 2.5 hours would be 900. but I mean, like, that is so much less time if you could get 1 done every 10 seconds instead of 15. I mean, it's blowing me away, genuinely. So how many of the same item have we gotten, folks? I've seen Polygonal Shelf, I've seen various meteor lamps. We're not even through the first stack yet. So I think here's what we're gonna do. We'll see how this works. We still have 23 in this stack. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do 200 of each. See what that's like. Or maybe like 250 or maybe 300. See what we get and then update and take care of the rest, because this is obscene. But what this will let me do is I can actually go ahead and get up and get a snack. While I was deciding what to do after Donkey Kong Land, I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to eat still, you know, I'm hungry. And so I kind of decided on this partially because I didn't know how long it was going to take, and I also thought that worst case scenario, I'd be able to at least kick it for a bit. And yeah, this is a great late stream thing to do because I'm going to be putting everyone to sleep by the end of this. Okay. By the way, almost done with Black 2 White 2. Like, aside from doing some Mount Battle stuff and looking for underleveled evolved Pokemon, I don't have much left to do in this long form Pokemon thing. Oh look, Suicune showed up. We've been blessed by Suicune, folks. Yeah, there's not a ton left to do in this overarching Pokemon journey, though. I love that Clodsire is just kicking it with us. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look heroic? By the way, I gotta change of clothes, so that's cool. God, this is horrible. Model space shuttle, that's cool. This is so unreal. Hey, another funky diffuser. Alright, we're gonna let this go. I'm gonna go get a quick snack, folks. Hang tight. I'll keep the mic on. Maybe you guys can hear me. Oops. Maybe you guys will be able to hear me as I get some food. But there's a lot that takes so long, dude. Man. Oh, you can barely hear me. Okay, so I'm starting to shout as I get further away. I'm like halfway to my kitchen right now. Can y'all hear me? How you doing? Okay. Folks, I am in my kitchen. What are you doing? Alright, chat. So, most of that was inaudible. Basically, I've got some like cold fries that I'm just gonna like douse with this queso dip that I've got from work. And we're gonna call that good. That's gonna be the stream snack. For whatever is going on here. There's 2 left. Okay, now is it automatically gonna go to the next stack? This is the question. Let's take a look. 1 more. More bouncy blue bathtub. What a crazy item to get. Oh my god, it automatically goes to the next stack. That's awesome. Alright, so we're gonna let this go while I get my potatoes. My alarm was going off. That's awesome. Right, chat. Got my potatoes. This is gonna be like one of the most casual streams I've ever done. To put it into perspective, I could have had this going the entire time I was doing Donkey Kong Land, and it still wouldn't have finished. It wouldn't have finished until we did all the Donkey Kong stuff. Like all that DK challenge crap. That is how long this will take. I will not be streaming for 8 hours, I'll tell you that much. So that's why at some point... was that Tangrowth? I think Tangrowth moving, like, was what made the sky look kind of cloudy there. About to fight the second Uranium Gym? Nice. Bella, did you ever watch me play Uranium? I don't know if you were there for that stream. Or series, I should say. Boy, these potatoes kind of suck. And the cheese kind of sucks, but like together. This is like that late night snack you don't really care how it is, you're just hungry. Like the best way to describe this. It's like, this is pretty terrible. But I'm hungry enough to not care. Dude, the fact that you can get cast from weather charms from these is so messed up. Oh my god. Dude, bugger off with that. Yeah, I've forgotten a lot of Uranium too. Uranium still has a really dedicated community, actually, from what I know. And like, I don't blame them. It's a really well put together fan game. I miss Psychometer, honestly. And those stupid crappy ants. Yeah, those are fun. Uranium honestly had amazing Fakemon. Man. That was really mediocre, but honestly I could go for more of that. I don't have any more fries though. A lot of Pokemon hacks and fan games have been, or have crazy dedicated fan bases. You mentioned you were watching some of that new Fire and Leaf Green IPS hack. The end credits talked about how it came about in part because they've been obsessed with Snakewood? Dude, Snakewood's old. Like, I remember back in the day, Hayden did a playthrough of Snakewood. That was so long ago. And like, yeah, Snakewood was big. Like, that was a big project. Back in like the 2010s, the early 2010s in particular, a lot of like large scale hacks didn't really exist. Some made the rounds. Like, I can remember thinking about like you know, some of the classics like Flora Sky. There was Flora Sky, there was I think it was Crystal Clear. There was what's that one that I can't remember. There's a few different ROM hacks that have gone through and retold either the anime or the manga. There's been a couple of those. But they certainly weren't like feature rich or anything. And Snakewood was one of the ones that really introduced like a lot of uniqueness. Like, there was an overarching like custom story and like lots of sprite edits and Fakemon, and like it was really ambitious. And like Snakewood still has a legacy today, which is crazy. So I'd buy it. I totally get it. Have I looked into Celia's stupid ROM hack? No, what's that? Ruby Destiny? I don't know much about that one. That was one that I heard by, like, I remember hearing the name, but I didn't really care about it that much. My personal favorite that I don't think ever got finished was Pokemon White, or better known as Old White, because after Black and White came out, they had to change the name. But yeah, Pokemon Old White was like this. It was set up to be gigantic in scale. I'm fairly certain I streamed it before. And I know I've talked about it a few times. But Old White was insane. That was seeing videos of Pokemon Old White and Naranja or Naranja, I guess. I don't know. But seeing videos of those two ROM hacks was what got me into emulation to begin with. And I was like, oh god. I think the first time I saw them, I might have been in like middle school or maybe just starting high school. I'm pretty sure it was middle school. I think I was like 13. And they were insane. I thought they were so cool. And I still think that Old White in particular is really cool. Because they had, especially as they went further on, they had a ton of custom sprites. At least I think they were. They might have been stolen from something. But, yeah, there was all sorts of like custom sprites. The entire region was cool. It was before we even remotely got access to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So, like, the big focus was on like Johto Pokemon because of that, I think. And I just thought it was amazing. Hey, Nick, how you doing, dude? Hiccups. Hope you're enjoying your nice Saturday night. Will you get more cast form weather charms? No, yeah, I got that. I just don't know what it is. I guess I could look it up. I'm not actually in control right now. I'm using a turbo controller, so I guess I could look up Celia's stupid ROM hack. Yeah, dude, my character's had this hairstyle forever. Like, for a long while, I've had the Gladion haircut. In fact, I didn't get to talk about it, but one of the things I'm not showing off today, that I'll maybe show off later, is I actually found something referencing Silver, and so I have Silver's outfit now, which is really cool. And I think what I want to do for the DLC is I want to change the, I want to change my character so it actually shows off, like, color, because I'd really like to rep that. But, on the exact video you're thinking of from 2010. Dang, dude. I'm gonna need more food. Those potatoes were, like, nice and all, but, like, I'm actually hungry as hell. I also use more to drink too. Like, all I have is water. Not much of it left either. Dude, why is Clodsire here the entire time? Alright. Tell you what, let's look up Celia's stupid ROM hack. Pokemon Celia's stupid ROM hack. This is from last year? Okay, Celia's stupid ROM hack, a Pokemon puzzle adventure. Oh, this looks great already. They made, oh my god. Like, they made a Game Boy Advance box art for it. The puzzle adventure game about testing your creative thinking skills was an affectionate satire of the Pokemon community and franchise. Okay, there's some trailers. Okay, talk to everyone, try to complete the decks. The secrets and discoveries are on every corner. Grab some friends and play together as you explore a version of Kanto, designed to challenge your assumptions and to remind you of everything that made you fall in love with the franchise. Arbok evolved into Seviper. Oh, this is that ROM hack that has the Jigglypuff with the H-box color. That's Jigglypuff used grab throw. Okay, this is pretty good. Is that a shiny Scyther? Pokemon trading cards. Oh, this looks awesome. Talk to everyone. Advice. Talk to everyone. Every NPC, including trainers, has new dialogue. Many regular trainers will give vital clues about what you should do. Take your time. The game is stuffed full of secrets in every nook and cranny. Play with friends. The hack is designed to be played together. Sit around in a Discord call while someone plays. I might do that. That could be fun to do for the one time. Don't try to challenge run. This is a puzzle hack first and foremost. Nuzlocke and other types of playthroughs will be frustrating and unfun. Complete the decks. This is very strongly recommended. There are signs in every town giving you an indication of how much progress you should be making toward your goal. And it was edited. It was last edited this year on 4/20. No joke. This didn't even get any notoriety until, like a couple weeks out from it. A demo at some point was released that went up to the Fuchsia Gym and had about 10 to 15 hours of playtime. That's a lot for a demo. I mean, that's right up there with, like, Elliot, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a try, especially with the H-box references. That's really neat. Pretty sure there have been a handful of versions of Ruby Destiny, but the one you always remember is an old video in which there's a sequence similar to the Hall of Mirrors from Diamond and Pearl. But there was some kind of, like, heaven serpent that they fought using a Shadow Lugia. That sounds cool. Finished working on your icons? Icons for what? Did the gold leafing for the halos and the red trim on them. Yeah, what are you doing, Nick? Tell me more. I don't think I know what you're doing. Alright, let's get a new angle. Let's look out into the ocean over here. I sure hope Lugia and Ho-Oh can show up for this, by the way. I think that would be nice. Jigglypuff used crab throw. You made it to the double battle cave? I sure as heck don't remember that, let me tell you. How many cans did I... How many cans had you been farming it, like... Yeah, so originally, Peters, first off, it is literally in the title. It is 1,000. I have 1,002. Yeah, when I first started playing this, I decided, okay, well, I guess I'll just get a bunch and then just appraise them all at once. And at first it was going to be like 100, and then it was going to be 100 of each. And then it kind of got to the point where I was just getting a bunch of them and I wasn't appraising them. So I just decided, okay, I'll just do this until I feel like I get enough. And then at some point I decided that getting 1,000 would be pretty cool. and I'd make a video out of it, except this is gonna take 4 hours. And it's currently 12:30 in the morning on my Saturday night. I am not about to stay up until 4 a.m. or later watching this old grass type fellow do the same animation for 6 years while he hands me in the slowest fashion the item that was in the can. So what we're doing now is I'm gonna have him do like 2 stacks of each of them, and we'll see where we get with that. And if time allows, then I will update the game and we can do them in batches of 10, and that will make it go way faster. Because then this won't go from doing 4 in a minute; it'll be doing like. I'm gonna say 40, it's probably gonna be more like 30. Because there'll probably be some sort of dialogue with it and all that stuff, but... Wouldn't be easier of dumping the entire cans and not sit through same things again? I mean, yeah, but you wouldn't get the items out of the cans. Like, the relics are things you appraise, like fossils in Animal Crossing or something. So in order to actually get the item, you need to get it appraised. And I haven't seen even close to all the items that you can get from the Lost Relics, I don't think. Like, part of the reason I'm doing this is because all of these items are unique. Well, not all of them, but for the most part, these items are unique to either getting them from relics or are very, like, very rarely gotten from other sources like trading. So, like, all these items are pretty much unique, and I haven't seen them up until this point. The problem was that if I were getting them appraised as I was getting the Lost Relics, then all of these things would have taken up a ton of space because they would have been a bunch of unique items taking up individual slots. But keeping all of them as Lost Relics meant that I could create one stack that had all the items, and then I would get the items after just coming and doing that. That was the original intention, and why I was stacking so many was to do them all at once when I actually had storage to use. And now I have storage to use. It sucks that the largest storage device is the big storage box, but like, it'll probably still be enough to hold all of the relics. But again, most everything you get from these is unique, so... Like, some of the stuff that I've seen that I've gotten, like I saw the fishing rod there. I've seen the sign that had the Plusland mine in. Some of those things I got from trading with the Pokemon, but it wasn't a common thing to get. And who even knows how many items there actually are? Like, while we're getting down to this, we'll go ahead and do 50 more or a few more of these. I've been live for half an hour already. It has been half an hour, or not, I've been live for an hour. We've been doing this for over half an hour. Since I last looked at the live stream time, we're at almost an hour in on YouTube. And when I last looked, it was at 30 minutes. So that's how far along we've come so quickly. And that's also how easily you can just kind of piss time away, you know what I mean? But let's go ahead and take a look and see what you can get from the Lost Relics. And we'll see if that matches up with some of the things we've gotten. I mean, surely we've seen enough to where we have a good basis of the things that you can get from these. Was that Lugia? Wait, hold on a second. That's Ho-Oh! No, he's too far away. I don't have PP. No! Oh, this is so sad. Dude, I need... Well, whatever. I finally get Ho-Oh to spawn here on stream. And I can't make it back home to use the bell. Oh, hey, look, there's a habitat here. That's so sad. I'm Junior. That is so sad. Alright, well anyway, of course I don't have any food. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna rest at the Pokemon Center to get my power points back. And hey, look, there's actually a couple things here. Wobbuffet Wobbler. That's what I was saying, is that like sometimes you'll get something through trade, like this Mischievous has the Wobbuffet Wobbler, which is something we did get. But also at the same time, there's only one of those there, and it's only a chance at best. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Of all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, we got all the colors. That's cool. Alright, so I'm gonna go to game 8 for this one. That way I don't get spoiled on the small ones. It looks like this might be... This is gonna be an order of the... of how they're organized in our inventory. So, Polygonal Shelf, Mysterious Pedestal, Avalug Table we've seen, Pikachu Sofa, Naptime Bed, Wiggly Mirror, Pitcher Plant Pot, Moonabank, the Bouncy Blue Bathtub, Arcade Machine, Funky Diffuser, Gold Teeth, Repel, Big Nugget, Boo in the Box, Wobbuffet Wobbler, Mysterious Statue, Fiery Magby Statue, Gym Emblem Statue, Spacesuit, which I actually did find one of those recently, Model Space Shuttle, Spaceship, a Rowlet Clock, which I've only got one of this time, but I've gotten plenty of, Cast Form Weather Charm, which I think is terrible that you can get out of these. The fact that you can get Cast Form Weather Charms out of these is actually criminal. Eerie Candle, the Garden Ornament, the Bike, Horsey Fountain, Fishing Rods, which we only got 2 of, Raichu Signs. That's actually really important because fishing rods are used for quite a few encounters. Raichu Sign, Photo Cutout Board, all the Meteor Lamps, a Seedot Lamp, the Slowpoke Rug, the Charizard Rug, the Town Map, and the Team Rocket Wall Hanging. So we've gotten everything out of these, and we still have 338 to go. So we're not going to do these, but you can see sort of how they skew. Of course, the biggest ones, of course, being these. The Meteor Lamps just have a ton going for them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and quickly I'm going to drop these off. So that way, the ones we get from the small ones don't interfere. And then we can go ahead and do all the small ones and see how that goes. Put them in here. So, God, 11 Pikachu sofas. Like, I know they're all RNG. I don't know if it being one of the explosive ones dictates whether it's going to be a rare thing or not. I think it might because, like, look at some of these ones that I have, like, one of. Gold teeth or, you know, a few like the arcade machine or whatever. Shut up, Magmortar, my god. But yeah, the sheer amount of stuff, like, we've only gotten a few rugs, for example. 2 of the Team Rocket wall hangings out of 200 and something. You're kind of seeing that, like, some things are definitely rarer than others. Which I think is interesting. Just set that there. Okay, then I've got some rugs. I guess I have to put the rugs away somewhere too. Huh. We're just gonna make one of these real quick. Dude, I need Magmortar to go away. And I'll just drop these off too. Okay, so we got everything there, which is good. We did get one of every item at least. Now let's go ahead and do the small ones and see what we get out of that. Again, we're gonna do like a couple hundred of these, and then we'll just go ahead. Aw, he's all tuckered out. He appraised so many items, it wore his little forgetful brain out. All right. Now we go ahead and let him go about for the next, I don't know, half hour. Oh god, is he gonna have extra dialogue for displaying it in a frame? Like, how did they think this was okay? A gold bottle cap. Hey, that's cool. I could use some of those. Alright, so now that we've gotten some stuff, he'll just let us do it en masse as usual. So, as I was expecting, these are all, for the most part, held items. Which is interesting. Held items are like smaller things, like the gold bottle cap. A bag of metal powder. How very interesting! Considering that we are a Ditto. That's an item that's been forgotten. You heals your Pokemon after every double battle, so you're literally just farming up levels. Yeah, that's normally how it goes. In any spot where you have double battles with an AI partner, they'll always heal you up. That's why they make it really good for shiny hunting. Because not only are you getting double battles, but you can also just be free to stay there as long as you like and get free heals. In fact, when I was playing through Brilliant Diamond, when I was borrowing it from Totes, eventually Totes just let me have it. But when I was playing through, I was actually doing shiny hunting in there because the odds were, I mean, so much better. for a traditional Pokemon game, those are the best odds that we've gotten. Because in BDSP, the odds are 1 in 4096. And then if you have the double encounters with like Cheryl or whoever, then they go to, you know, effectively 1 in 2048, which is pretty cool. And so, because of that, I did some shiny hunting in a few places. I got a Budew in Eterna Forest, and then with Riley, I think I got a Golbat? Gotta go back and check that file. But that'll be later. I have no intention of going back to BDSP anytime soon, because that is not in danger of getting its connectivity severed. Wow, there's a lot of interesting items to get from this. Terrain extender, room service. I mean, some of these are newer, but like the iron ball, that's an oldie that barely gets used. The metal powder. I wonder if there's also quick powder. Also interesting that they used metal powder, because that was supposed to be what evolved it into its evolved form in the gold beta. A normal nugget. A zoom lens. That's a niche item. Oh, lucky egg, that's cool. Hey, there we go. The wide lens to go with the zoom lens. These ones, I'm more interested in these ones because these are already items that existed in the game, or like in the series. The furniture and stuff I really like. I think it's really cool. And I do hope that they actually make lines of that stuff, because I would love to have like all the mini war lamps, for example. Silver powder, soft sand, silk scarf. I wonder how many small items there are. Back-to-back silver powders. Zoom lens makes fissure 50%. I don't remember how zoom lens works. I mean, like, I remember how it works, but I don't know how much it adds. Because it's so terrible to... Like, the zoom lens is so bad, they had to make it an ability, buff up that ability's, you know, like, the increase of it. And it's still not that good. Oh, spell tag, cool. Like, analytic as an ability, if you combo that with zoom lens, would be pretty cool. But the fact that you need to go second is not good. Also, Pokemon like Starmie shouldn't get analytic. If they kept how it used to work, it'd be great. Yeah, so if it's 20%, that's what I was thinking it was it would be a 20% additive, but it's not making it 50%. It's not adding an extra 20%. It's taking 20% of the already... It's taking 20% of the move's accuracy already. So in the case of Fissure, it would be 36%, because Fissure's accuracy is 30, 20% of 30 is 6, And so it would add that to... It's like Compound Eyes. Like, Compound Eyes doesn't add a 30% accuracy. It is a multiplier that takes the base of the move's accuracy and adds on to it. Yeah, Zoom Lens should be going second. So let's, I'll go to Bulbapedia, I guess, because for some reason, Cerebi has been lagging for me lately. Yes, boost the holder's accuracy by 20% against targets that have already used a move in the same turn, which means that in a singles battle, it's 20% against the opponent that has already acted, which means you have to go second, which is why it stacks with Analytic, but, yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. Huh. Get this, in the original Diamond and Pearl, its effect was changed. If the holder moves after the foe, its critical hit ratio will be boosted, which is way cooler. Oh, that's an incorrect description, actually. Never mind. It had an incorrect description. It was just wrong, but that would have been a cooler effect. Either way, yeah, it's only good for slower Pokemon. And that's why Wide Lens is better, because it's a smaller effect, but you can just use it off rip. Hey, Moza, what's up, dude? I was thinking about you the other day. How you doing, man? A heart skill, that's cool. I missed some of the things that we got because of that. That sucks. I saw a sticky barb. On that Pal World edition. I've heard that Pal World's a lot better now. I had a hard time getting into it because... not getting into it, but I think sticking with it's the better term. Because they had so much emphasis on the farming aspects of it and making a base and all that stuff. And I didn't really care about that. Like, that's not something I really want in my games. That's why I don't like Minecraft or... Well, I had a hard time when I used to stream Terraria with people from the chat. Doing stuff like that just isn't really my thing, you know? It was really fun to go through and see how much... A serving of leftovers is kind of gross, actually. Now that I'm looking at that. It was really cool and funny to see like what designs they would end up copying from Pokemon for a while. As a lot of people did. I've seen some of the redone designs and a lot of them do look a lot better, I will say that. Like that green rabbit that was basically just like a grass Cinderace looked so bad. But now it actually looks like really good. And there's a lot of other pals that have that same design philosophy. Where it's like they actually went through and did them justice. Yeah, I'm just saying, as a whole, crafting games... Which is ironic because I'm playing a crafting game. I was gifted this crafting game. But yeah, it's something I don't normally seek out. Like, for me, personally, what I get out of games more is in adventure. Adventure and storytelling more so than, making my own economy, I guess, is the easiest way to describe that. Yeah, Terraria is pretty simple for that, too. Not that I don't like that, but, like, for Terraria, for example, if I didn't have somebody to... If I didn't have a ton of people to play with that knew not only what they were doing, but also could help, you know, push everything along, it wouldn't have been fun for me. Games like this, like Terraria, Pokemon, not Pokemon, specifically Pokopia, Minecraft, some of Palworld. A lot of that is only better when you become well versed in it. And it's not very fun to play if you're not already knowledgeable about it, in my opinion. Palworld was a little bit more fun because of how it actually worked. Like, using the Pokemon, or the pals, to actually, like, run farms and get resources and stuff like that, I feel like it's a little bit better. Like, I think that angle of it is more unique and is definitely not something Pokemon is going to touch probably whatsoever. Because yeah, that intrinsic loop is very rewarding. Like, you catch a bunch of the pals, you get your base going, you get more pals to make more stuff or to make better stuff, and then as you're making more and more stuff, you're getting, like, you can craft better spheres to catch better things and all that stuff. So, like, I think that intrinsic loop is pretty good. But it's that part where it's like half of it I'm really into and half of it I'm not, which for me makes it kind of sucky. But playing with friends, it's like, tell you what, if you have somebody that's really, like, keen on base building and doing stuff like that, it's like, awesome. You do that, I'll go get all the pals, and you can just assign them however the hell you want. Like, have fun, you know? Or, like, tell me where they're supposed to go and I'll stick them there. But, yeah, no, base building really isn't my thing. Especially, too, because from what I played of Palworld, like, the world was relatively large. Like, there was a whole lot of area, and making multiple bases, especially when they can be, like, ransacked and whatever the hell else, it's like, that's not appealing to me at all. Making one base, I would totally be done with making, like, a single base and really refining that. But that's really about it. Yeah, I get that. Some people do really like that. Like, one of my coworkers, actually, has talked to me about that kind of thing, and, like, I totally get where they're coming from. It can feel very satisfying to basically make a well self-sustaining base that basically makes its own economy and stuff like that, and I definitely don't discredit that. That's just, for me personally, that's a tough thing to get into. Palworld hard mode, but you can't catch any pals? That's interesting. I like that. Yeah, do it up. If you got the time, go for it. I think it'd be a good thing, too, to focus on, like... Because you're still in school, yeah? You're doing college? Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to work on, like, between projects and homework. One of my coworkers is just starting school, and I was telling him about how useful it was to have things to do like that between assignments. It kind of just is a positive way to get you. We're still not even done with this first stack, by the way. It's a positive thing to keep you going in a different way. Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. I like what Power World did with what it was kind of going for. Like, a lot of the ideas outside of the pals themselves, I felt like weren't bad necessarily. Like, Power World had a lot of good direction, but they definitely needed help with their assets. A lot of their assets, like when I was playing, were very like stock, like UE or Unity, whatever the hell the game is made in. They were all really stock, and of course the Pokemon designs were whatever. You know, that's the big focal point. But some of the ideas, and I know that they have taken some of the ideas from other games like Ark and stuff like that, but some of the ideas for what they were going for were pretty solid, I felt like. But yeah, I had a whole critique of them. That, you know, it painted them in like a decent light. Like, I had fun playing it. But the biggest thing were definitely their assets. They had good gameplay ideas, but needed to work on the art and, well, the art overall. With the art style of the world and pals, stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I get you. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, once you get your hit, and you have something going, you might as well just, you know, go all in on that one. Especially when Craftopia barely had anything mentioned of it at all. Like, let's be real. And from what I heard of Craftopia, it was basically carbon copy Breath of the Wild anyway, so... Man, I'm still hungry. Are we done with this first stack yet? Dude, there's still 17! I think we're still getting new items from the small ones, too. Alright, I'm gonna get a quick snack. I'll be right back. Alright. I got some boxes of Pocky that I had here. This is my late night snack. While we sit here and appraise another 130 items, give or take. You look back on Craftopia, it did have a lot of similar marketing. No, no, dude, I'm missing Ho-Oh again. That's not happening. Oh my god, we got it! God. That bell has such a lovely and soothing tune. Oh, what are you standing on? And I've met a new Pokemon. Oh, today is a good day. I'll come visit again when I hear that bell, so I hope we'll get along. Jeez, we finally got it. Ho-Oh, when it's not flying, looks really not good, I'm not gonna lie. The rainbow Pokemon Ho-Oh, a legend says that its body glows in 7 colors. A rainbow is said to form behind it when it flies. We can finally talk to Ho-Oh. Just needs can send out a huge burst of fire. Neat. Back in the day, whenever I met a human, they always seemed absolutely thrilled to see me. Do you suppose they considered me to be a good omen or something? Alright, Ho-Oh. Well, I'll let you go now. Jeez, dude, we barely got that thing. Let's go ahead and get that rainbow feather. Random songs are playing some early 2000s and 2010 bangers. Nice. I mean, 2010 stuff I can't say I really get into, but 2000s, it's still on screen. That's so weird. Dude, what is it about Lugia and Ho-Oh that just don't get called out whatsoever? Like, what is this? It looks so jarring, especially compared to the rest of the world. Oh, we called it out. Well, okay, this is where it gets called out, right here. That's so crazy. It looks so stupid. Anyway, that's neat. I guess now I just have a phoenix on my rooftop. Which, I mean, that makes me happy. The phoenix is my favorite mythological creature. But anyway, let's go ahead and do more of these, huh? In simple terms, Palworld takes a bunch of aspects of good games, smushes them all together, plus enslavement, and bam, a multi-million-dollar game. I wouldn't really call it that. A lot of Palworld came directly from the fact that people wanted the quote-unquote mature Pokemon, and they delivered the quote-unquote mature Pokemon, and people loved the quote-unquote mature Pokemon. And a lot of the aspects that it stole, while I think the ideas are there, were coming from things like Breath of the Wild and Ark already in existence. So, like, yeah, they took a bunch of ideas and made it all work, but they also very strictly just stole a bunch of ideas. Less so innovation, more so the fact that, like, a lot of the stuff that they took was from open world games that already had success. I mean, whether they turn it into something really good or not from here on is yet to be seen, but most of Palworld, for the most part, is less so inspiration and more so directly taking from whatever was already popular. Which, I mean, you know, the line between inspiration and, you know, I guess, for lack of a better term, thievery. It's not really thievery, but the line between those two is somewhat obscured. Like, there's definitely a solid gray area, especially when it's coming to something as nuanced as video games that has like, video games have like 10 different forms. Oh, my turbo broke. Oh, my turbo didn't break. My controller just ran out of juice. That sucks. Hang on, folks. Alright, there we go. Yeah, a game, like, video games, though, have, like, there's so many different forms of media in a video game where it's, like, of course there's gonna be a quite large gray area between, you know, inspiration and copying ideas or whatever. But, I mean, you know, they did take a lot of ideas. Not that games don't take ideas from each other constantly, but as a lot of people did say, especially when it came out, a lot of Palworld is kind of steeped and created in a bit of a mire. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, even games like Breath of the Wild have done it too. Like, you know, you look at another game like Assassin's Creed or whatever that has had those same kinds of, like, map discerning features like towers. Like, everyone does it to a degree, but a lot of the time they're at least, you know, disguised better than just copying. I can agree with that. And Palpark, I was reading Bell's comment. Palworld definitely did have some kind of vision behind it, like the way their vision of Palworld being that the pals are, like, integral to everything and not just, like, you know, you do Pokemon battles, haha, everybody's a friend or whatever. But the fact that they can be used for battle, they can be used for farming, they can be used, and not just, like, in lore, like in actual gameplay. Pokemon has had it to where, like, and other monster games, monster catching, taming games, too, have had it where, you know, the various monsters in lore can do whatever. And even some of them have had things like farming or whatever. But the way that Palworld pieced it together is what makes it unique and what makes it stand out. And also the marketing. That being said, I have not visited Palworld since last year. Or no, even longer than. I mean, the last time I played it was somewhere around, like, October, I think. And not that much changed. But now with the actual 1.0 release, like, maybe a lot has changed. People are saying that a lot has changed, so I'll have to get to it at some point. I don't think I'm going to stream it. I think it's just going to be a thing that I do with the homies every now and then. No, yeah, very much, but also, I mean, like, I don't know what Minecraft was like earlier on, but, like, I mean, at this moment, what Minecraft has going from it opposed to, like, other, you know, crafting games is longevity and systems that are already in place. Like, they right now have the ability to add or subtract things not only from the present but also from the past that they can really capitalize on. Like, I mean, how many videos are out there that are like, you know, 20 things that got removed from Minecraft over time or whatever, you know? And I don't know what Minecraft was like at the time. Minecraft was really unique when it was coming out, I remember. I was in high school when it was in browser, even. And there was a whole bunch of things that, like, made it, like, neat and stand out. But, yeah, it's also, in a sense, kind of a pioneer, too. Like, even comparing to Pokopia, like, Pokopia's scope is small, you know? It has multiplayer and stuff. But, like, a lot of this is basically just, what if we made Pokemon a crafting game? And then they seem to have built out the environment and then the lore around that, you know? And also, I guess, what you could do after, too. Yeah, Minecraft is a really hard thing to just talk about. Because it's been around for so long and is still so prominently played across the world, even. Like, it's not something you can just talk about very easily. Has anyone made a comparison to Dragon Quest Builders? Yes, it's made by the same team. So much of this game is similar to Dragon Quest Builders because it's made by the same team, so it's not really a point worth bringing up, but it is a point to say. How far along are we? I didn't see you. Oh my god. But yeah, open world games as a whole, especially in this specific genre of, like, crafting games, it is going to start getting to the point where you have to start combining things. You have to start combining things and maybe taking from some other genres to start spicing it up, because, you know, something like Breath of the Wild has a pretty good vision for what they're set out to do. It's actually really funny, Pichu, because you brought up, what was it? Kind of like scope versus, or like breadth versus depth, I guess. And I actually think it's funny because I think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom fit breadth versus depth pretty well. Because I feel like the vision they had for Breath of the Wild was pretty set. And then Tears of the Kingdom, they were like, alright, let's just throw fucking everything we got. So I think those two could actually contrast them pretty well as far as like open world games. Went to grab your egg and cheese croissant that you left before you went to work like 14 hours ago. Dude, I get it, man. Don't worry, Moza. This is a chill stream. We are kicking it. We're letting the turbo controller take the reins. And we're just seeing how long this will go before I eventually break and say, "All right, let's change." Which, by the way, I'll probably download the update soon because this is ridiculous. Look, now we have Ariados as our partner. Yeah, I mean, there's not that much to Pokopia. Like, if you're really into building big, you know, big cities or whatever in a different way from, like, city skylines or whatever. I mean, this offers, like, a way to build in a cool way. But yeah, I mean, this is not made to be in the exact same, like, it's not a survival game. It's not even necessarily open world. There's open areas, but the areas are pretty segmented, and there's no stats to really keep track of. Like, this is, relatively speaking, baby's first open world game. I mean, let's be real. And in that same vein, too, like, you want to talk about Minecraft developing its mechanics? What is that thing they just added? Those fucking, like, those light blocks or whatever? Where when you put a cushion on them, they change color? Or, like, is it a cushion that you put on different things and it interacts with that in a different way? I don't know. Either way, one of my coworkers was telling me that people figured out that they were able to make screens out of them. Like, they basically gave players a way to make TVs in Minecraft. Like, you want to talk about, you know, scope and just seeing how much crap you can fit in? That's that's a lot of crap. The cushions are new. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fucking nuts, dude. Like, people making big pixel art works of arts isn't even impressive anymore in Minecraft because it's already been kind of done and dusted. But, like, now people are putting videos into Minecraft. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Oh, a weakness policy, that's cool. Builders Who's on Steam is on sale on Steam for 25 bucks. That's not bad. Well, and like here's the thing about that too. Is redstone as a mechanic. And keep in mind, I have almost no time in Minecraft. I have like 6 hours maybe. But as I understand it, redstone as a mechanic basically can be used as like wiring and coding. Like if somebody's good with it, they can do damn near anything with redstone. And I mean, if you give a player that, world's your oyster, man. It's like Ace, you know? I mean, hell, thinking about it, Pichu. Like, you were talking about using those for like combat or whatever. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if people are starting to make like battle bots in Minecraft at this point. Like something as crazy as that in a video game. Like, fucking crazy. That BattleBot's YouTube channel still doing live streams? I'll have to check that out. Fucking hell. Ariados is so happy for me to be getting those loaded dice. But yeah, no, open world games and survival games, or like builder games, I guess in general, whether they're survival or not, have a whole lot going on. And at this point, with how things are going, it's starting to be that the whole genre is just made up of like the same 30 aspects that get iterated on to various degrees. So yeah, coming up with ideas might be a little bit tough, but you can sure as hell disguise them a little bit and make them your own, you know? Or put a spin on them. A ring target. That's cool. That's not an item to get much use. A lagging tail in the same vein as that iron ball. Not very commonly used. Well, let me take a drink of water here. Hold on. Well, a lot of that, I would say, partially comes down to product differentiation. I mean, like, if you're making something with intent to, you know, sell it and maybe try to make a profit off of it, you gotta differentiate in some way. Of course, you know, a lot of open world games will try and do that either in mechanics or in different ideas, like Pal Worlds, of course, is very easy to use. But, you know, that competition breeds ingenuity. And, if you're gonna make an open world game, especially if it's gonna come off the back of, you know, everything else that's come before, the greats of the open world genre, you have to not only build upon what they've already done, but differentiate in a different way without coming off as ham-fisted, I think would be a nice way to put it. And, like, I think that's a cool idea with, like, using logging houses or using, like, different types of materials to speed up a process or to fit an area better. I think that's cool and has some good basis in, you know, mechanical nuance, but it also sounds a little basic. Like, it's a decent evolution, but not like a groundbreaking one kind of thing. Alright, we're living under the bridge now, folks. We're just gonna hear the conversation for a little bit and just live and make the troll toll, you know what I mean? Nice. Yeah, I can appreciate stuff like that where, you know, you're making a game like something, you know, Builder-esque, but instead of just having the cursor, it is something that has meaning as a character. But if you're making an avatar like that, you have to actually, you know, make the rest of the world interesting for him. Like, don't just make him good, but make the entire world good so that you have a reason for him to be good. All right, let's take a look at the small items, because it's looking like we have gotten all of the small items. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at these items. So we've got the one nugget. Keep in mind, everything here... Oh, and a adrenaline orb. That's cool. Like, almost everything here has at least two. The nugget is the only one that has one. And most things have three or more. Like, look at the flame orb. Flame orb and zoom ones have 10 each. Okay, so. Nugget, silver bottle cap, gold bottle cap, heart scale, which looks really nice. Miracle Seed, Hard Stone, Mystic Water, Metal Coat, Twisted Spoon, Silver Powder, Black Glasses, Black Belt, Silk Scarf, Sharp Beak, Poison Barb, Never Melt Ice, Spell Tag, Charcoal, 6 charcoals, and Soft Sand. Dragon Fang. Oh, you know what? There is one thing we're missing. I can see it here because it's the last of the items. Believe it or not, we are still missing one item at least. Let's take a look at the rest of these. Since most of these are held items, you might be able to figure out exactly what it is. Lefties, Sludge, Lucky Egg, Destiny Knot, Life Orb, Iron Ball, Metal Powder. It doesn't look like there's Quick Powder, only the metal one. Which is very interesting, I do have to say so. I wonder if that's tongue-in-cheek. Big Root, Adrenaline Orb, Weakness Policy, Terrain Extender, Wide Lens, Throat Spray, Light Clay, one of my favorite items, Loaded Dice, Sticky Barb, Quick Claw, Lagging Tail, only 2 ability shields. That kind of sucks because as a shield, I would like to have a few of those. room service, ring target, the clear amulet, which does look really good. I do like the design of that, and the zoom lens. All right, we've got to get one more item. Let's see if we can get it, folks. Still got a ways to go, so I'm gonna have him appraise it, and we'll see if we get it while we're just talking shite. Now, if you didn't see, there is a held item for, I think, every type. Let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, there's 17 types, right? I always forget if it's like 16 or 18 before fairy. But, speaking of that, we do have every type boosting item, except, speaking of fairies. We're missing the fairy feather. So we're gonna have to see if we get lucky on that one. But after doing over 200 of these, you can see that we're still not quite... We don't have everything. I remember the Cypress Lab. You're wondering where the uranium stuff happens. Do you mean the big event where it's like you go in there and like the big three, or like a few of like the irradiated Pokemon come out? I don't remember when that is, but it is a ways into the story for sure. Can I name every type boosting item? Probably not. Especially when it's almost 2 in the morning and I've already kind of burnt myself out on the stream. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure from having a half-finished product. Like, it's hard. Like, I think most creatives would say the same thing, but like with game development in particular, because so much has to go into game development, coding, assets, you know, script writing, character development, all sorts of stuff, like there's so many different people making it to where it's like you have to try and get away from the sunk cost fallacy of it. That's not an easy thing to do. I probably shouldn't be eating a ton of Pocky at nearly 2 in the morning, but fuck it. I'm an adult, right? Keep in mind, this is the same person that constantly overeats on sweets. And whenever there's cheap cakes or whatever, has to eat like as much of it in one go as possible. Dude, will you give me this fucking fairy feather already? Alright, at this point we're doing this until I get the fairy feather. I think Ho-Oh's still up there. Oh my god, it is. Is Ho-Oh just affixed to my roof now? Like, what the hell is the deal? Have you ever done the thing with boxed brownie mix where you replace the egg in the recipe with some blended canned beans? Pichu, what the fuck did you just tell me? What do you mean replace the eggs in the recipe with blended canned beans? Who in their right mind is doing that? As I choke on water. Excuse me. I didn't see what that was. Sounds like a thread post. That reminds me. I need to check my IG actually. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't gaslight myself into that because eggs are quite healthy for you as is. I don't know, like black beans in particular, I'm not a big fan of. Mostly because they really spoil fast, apparently. Like, I made a burrito with black beans in it from work, and the black beans were the only thing that went bad after a couple of days in the fridge, and it ruined the entire thing. And it was a fat burrito too, and I tried to eat it for lunch today, and it was just completely rotten because of those fucking black beans. Like, I think I'll just stick to the eggs and, like, add an extra egg or something. Maybe a yolk specifically. I don't know though. I mean, anything that's used as a gambit to try and be quote unquote healthier, I'm not exactly sold on. Especially when it comes to desserts. Because quite frankly, there's no two ways about desserts. Like, if you're getting brownies, you're getting thick, chocolatey piles of not good for you. Something I do buy is using things like oat flour instead of, you know, whatever else, and honey as a natural, you know, sweetener and all that random crap, but beans? I don't know about that. Speaking of beans, actually, I have a video that I have uploaded on the channel that I need to, at some point, actually finish uploading and publish. I mean, yeah, beans are great. Like, they are amazing for you. But I mean, like, if you need more fiber in your diet, just eat some fucking, like, oatmeal or something. I always find it kind of odd where if you need, like, a specific thing, like, if you're short on something, to try and mix it in with other foods. Like, that's a me thing personally. Like, if I'm short something, like, if I'm deficient on something, give me whatever food is, like, decently tasty that is rich in it, and just let me have that as, like, a side. Don't try to give me a paltry amount with whatever by mixing it in. Unless it's something like, say, a smoothie, where a smoothie is basically just a sum of, like, a fuck ton of stuff. That is, like, the only exception I could possibly have for that. You never liked beans in things? I can understand that. Like, some people really don't like chili with beans. I can understand it. Yeah, chocolate's pretty strong, especially if you're using, like, if you're starting with, like, just, like, cacao powder. That is very powerful, but... I mean, I also view things as, like... Like, I don't know. In that aspect, beans just don't really seem to fit for me. I didn't see what that was. Dude, give me my fucking fairy feather already. I could buy the peanut butter for sure. I've not really gotten to mess with tofu before, so I can't really say. Like, I've only gotten to cook with tofu one time, and that was in high school. But I guess that is the beauty of cooking, is how unique you can really get with it. Like, for somebody that really knows their stuff, they can do all sorts of stuff. Yeah, avocados are great. Like I was saying earlier, you know, they're an item that you could even mix into smoothies and not have too big an impact because their flavor can be muted. If you're getting unripe avocados, their flavor is pretty subtle, so you can use those pretty easily. You can use them to top anything, whether it's, you know, meats, salads. Use them on sandwiches, whatever. Very versatile. Also, bloody freaking expensive, though. Damn. But they're hella good for you. Black beans with the grilled tomatoes, whole green onions, and garlic. Sounds pretty good, yeah. Avocado? Yeah, it kind of is. It's very custody. Peanuts and noodles. Yeah, that's not too uncommon. I'm not a big fan of it personally, but something like pho or Thai or yeah, Thai cuisine. I get it. It's not my favorite thing, mostly because of the textural difference. But peanuts with noodles is very big in like Thai specific, especially. Many things you are not proud of with beans. I've never really considered beans as like a binder, though. I think it's interesting, like, especially in the context of those brownies. Like, I have not considered that, and I still wouldn't. Like, even if they turn out really good, I probably wouldn't do that with brownies. But I think it's an interesting idea. No, peanut butter is a little bit better, in my opinion, because you know, you can cook it into the sauce and make that a whole lot better. Make it a lot more cohesive. You can make it into, like, even if you're just throwing it right into the noodles, you can at least stir it into the noodles so they're all very consistently and evenly coated. Peanuts themselves, like, the taste of them are good, but it's the texture thing for me. Like, just a bunch of soft noodles and then just random crunch of peanut, I don't like very much. A pasta sauce with beans that doesn't suck. That's interesting. You might have to look into different bean types for that. Like, you could do something like using edamame and, like, okay, here's an example. Instead of like water chestnuts or something, you could possibly use crushed edamame for that same sort of like effect. And like a white sauce or something. It wouldn't be amazing, but you could also throw it in with like some broccoli that doesn't... God, I have no idea. I'm just kind of spitballing. Like, I could see like edamame being good in like some sort of like broccoli or cauliflower sauce. But like, that's about as far as to take it. Butter beans, yeah, those are nice and easy to use. Those would be really good in the sauce, actually. But it would definitely have to be some sort of cream-based sauce to begin with. I don't think... Like, if you use the tomato-based sauce, I don't think beans would go very good with that. Unless you could, I don't know, maybe pinto beans. Dude, did I get my fucking flower? Or feather, whatever the hell? I'm getting tired of sitting here. Somehow I hadn't gotten a rare bone before. Are we dead ass? And I'm still missing my feather? What the fuck kind of bullshit is this? How did I get all of the large ones? But I'm still missing stuff. Oh, come on. Or... Like, okay, how many items are here? On the off chance it's an even amount. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 37, 8, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. There's 46, give or take one. I think I accidentally counted one twice at the end there. That means there's a little over a 2% chance if it's all equal distribution. It is a 2% chance to get this stupid feather. Are you joking right now? And I only have so many more of these. Like, I think we also, at the beginning of the game, months ago, did we not discern that the item you get from these is random entirely? I think we did, didn't we? Refried beans? Do you mean like in the sauce for the pizza? I can kind of see that. Like refried beans wouldn't necessarily disturb anything in that sauce. And depending on how they're made, refried beans should also have some things like garlic and stuff in there anyway, so. Like, that's not bad because pizza has a lot more going on for it than pasta. But like with pasta, the beans are... Or with pasta, the sauce is much more prominent. Although, refried beans in a tomato-based sauce could be pretty nice and add a little bit of body. But that's because by their nature, they're already pureed and stuff like that. I don't know, like, I'm thinking of it in different ways too, like, between, like, some beans are puree better than others. And I'm trying to think of, like, some that would just be better with, like, whole in a sauce, and that's kind of what I'm focusing on more than... Yeah, I guess in general, just saying putting beans in a sauce does leave a lot open to interpretation, doesn't it? Like, I was more focused on the whole bean itself, or at least chopped up beans. The recipe where you cook down beans with tomato sauce? I've not heard that before. You're quite the foodie, Pichu, you know that? Yeah, beans and specifically pasta, that's kind of a tough one. I definitely think there's some sort of chase there with a cream-based sauce. If you're already putting something like broccoli in it with edamame. I think that's decent. But, unless, like, if you're making, like, meatballs or something, too, to go with the pasta, like, you could totally do things like add beans to the mix as an additive or a filler. Especially if it's something that has, you know, like if you're using something that has a little bit more fat, that can be really good, actually. But, yeah, no, it's interesting. It's also not something I've really messed with, like, I I haven't had too much freedom to cook for myself or experiment in my life because food's expensive. But like I've also not, you know, been seeking out recipes that do things like break the mold and incorporate things in certain ways, so there's definitely a lot of things I'm ignorant to. But it's like I said before, like the world of cooking is very vast and everybody has all sorts of ways to spice up various things or to cook things in a different way that's a secret family recipe or whatever. If this fucking pile of crap doesn't give me my feathers soon, I'm gonna freaking lose it, dude. Oh yeah, Swedish meatballs rock. And with the sauce or the gravy that you have in there, lends itself very nice. Swedish meatballs honestly kind of cross into like stroganoff territory, so that would be a good way, actually, if you're talking about you know, doing something with noodles specifically or pasta. Like stroganoff is pasta. You could do something with the sauce in that and beans. Thank you, Windows. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, like I'm not a picky eater at all. But again, the problem is the food. Like growing up, I didn't necessarily have a lot of like raw ingredients to use and experiment with cooking. And even when we did, they were more so, you know, like segmented things for whatever, you know? Like in the case of beans, for example, since we're talking about beans, beans would be like a side dish or something like that. It wouldn't be more so, let's try and figure out how to make something with all the random crap we have. It would be like, if we had ingredients to use and make stuff with when cooking in general, it was more so with more designated purposes. So, like, even though I'm not very picky, the ability to just cook in general is not something I've had. I've had the abilities to do en masse. Not that I'm against it, but, Oh! I got the thing! I got the thing! We're finally fucking done! Oh! Hey, he had something cool to say! What? Did he say that same thing when we got a large... He might have said that same thing when we had all the large relics. Because, like... Dude, what the hell is wrong with Ho-Oh? Like, what is the story with you? God, the one fairy feather, my god. God, that's a lot of crap. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, seat out lamp. Pretty sure those were all the large ones. Oops. Okay, so let me double check and see. If he did say something about identifying all the large relics, I sure didn't see it. But let me take one more look. I'm annoyed that the mysterious pedestals come from these two. Like, the large ones are kind of a scam, honestly. Avalug, Pikachu, Naptime Bed, Wiggly Mirror. Luna, Bathtub, Arcade Machine, Diffuser, Gold Teeth, Repel, Nugget, Bone Box, Wobbuffet. Here's Statue, Magby, Gym Emblem, Spacesuit, Shuttle, Spacecraft, Rowlet, Cast Form, Eerie Candle. Garden ornament, bike, horsey fountain, fishing rod. Considering a lot of this stuff you can actually just get from Dream Islands, it's kind of annoying. The Raichu sign. Photo cutouts. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Beat out lamp, slowpoke rug, Charizard, town map. Yeah, so that should be all the relics in the game. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and save and quit. Actually, let's go back in really quick because I want to see exactly how many we did. I started with 1002. And now I have... One plus 99 plus 13. So I now have 450. That means we did 552 to get everything. We had to identify 552 relics over, call it 2 hours and 35 minutes or so to get everything. That is fucked. Anyway, I can get these now. $552 identifications. That is over half. We had to do over half of these to make sure we got everything. Yeah, we did a lot of that too, but that's what I meant. Like, a lot of stuff was... like, it had a designated purpose, like side dish, main dish. Alright, we can finally start this now. The Bubbly Basin can finally be downloaded, and it's going to take just a little bit of time. That's awesome. Yeah, we didn't get too many chances to go out and eat and stuff. Like, we didn't necessarily grow up poor, but money was tight. So going out to eat, being able to experiment with cooking and stuff like that, it wasn't really stuff that I got to do. Nor is it stuff I still get to do. Although, to be fair, right now, any of my extra cash that I have usually ends up going to collecting and stuff, so... a little bit different. Anyway, Bubbly Basin is here. And after identifying 552 items, we get to see what it's about. I'm not going to start anything with Bubbly Basin. What I'm going to do is take the rest of these items and have Tangrowth identify them. So we'll have a little bit of a teaser here, but yeah, it's it's gonna be nice. We'll be able to do 10 of these at a time instead of just the one. Alright. So the good doctor is standing by the Pokemon Center. Kinda sucks. Oh, neat. Metal chain? Yeah, sure. Give me a bunch of those. Jumbled cords. I think I just make those, actually. Probably make the chains, too. Oh, Link Swords. Splendid timing. There's something I've been wondering. Oh, what the hell? Look that way. Can you see that small island beyond the sea? Was it there before? You think so too, eh? I'm very curious about it, but sadly I can't swim. But you, on the other hand, you could go have a gander at it for me, couldn't you? I just have a hunch you could meet more new Pokemon over there. Yeah, you probably could. At the same time... oh no, we're not doing that. Alright, if you're gonna be like that, we're going to Rocky Ridge. Yeah, there's no ocean here, dude. Of course, we just happen to be in the spot that would cause that, huh? Look at this. Appraise this. I think I could research a few things for you at once. How many things would you like me to appraise? Oh, I've got it! These are all items that were used by humans long ago. I haven't the foggiest idea how to use them, though. So it doesn't tell you what they're actually gonna be? They're just appraised items. Alright, let's go drop these off. And then we'll see what the rest of these appraised items are, because we're not going to know what those last 10 are. Not unless somebody really wants to go through the VOD and, like, see what got ticked up and what didn't. Damn it. Okay. Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, when I lived in Vegas when I was a kid, I had grandparents that would do that for Marie calendars. Barely even remember what I could have gotten there, let me tell you. Yeah, it's always grandparents that do that. Like, extended family has been the only way I have been able to... Well, this is gonna be annoying. I didn't even see anything that I got. This is gonna be annoying, but this is a whole lot faster still. A little bit obnoxious because it's more manual. But this is gonna be all of the items. Like, it would be cool if it at least told you. Like, if you handed him 10 things and you got back, you know, item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. So you can at least see what you got, but you know what? This is a good compromise. It's a whole lot better than sitting there letting your letting your turbo try to identify them all at once over a 4-hour period. Like, I can say that. I went back and took a look at that stream, by the way, that Donkey Kong Land one. That one broke 1,200 views. Like, I'm actually curious about it. If I go check... Oh, that's really funny. That is so funny. Sorry, I just got an email about something that is hilarious. Anyway, that aside. Yeah, so if I, like, go on my YouTube app, let me see really quick. Wow, this guy named Linksword is streaming. That's crazy. This game actually does look really good on a smaller screen. Like, I don't know what the story is with that, but this game looks amazing on a phone. I'm almost at 100 subs, too. That's cool. Oh, God. Want to drop a sub to Kazkez for that game. Can I, like, access the studio? I don't think I can, right? Yeah, I can't... Checking my stuff on, Checking my stuff on the YouTube app is annoying. Oh, the fucking thumbnail that they auto-generated for me, I have to change that. I'm gonna have to change that later because it is on the BRB screen. There was a comment on there. Looks like somebody is curious about bringing that to SNES. Dude, if that guy does that, I will play that game again. I would love to play Donkey Kong Land with proper DKC physics and controls. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Yeah, that has 1,200 views though. That is by far my most popular, like my #1 most viewed live stream. Without a doubt. Next up is some Dynamax Adventures Weekend VOD. At 100. 150. Yeah, normally for my live streams, I don't care too much about the thumbnails, but, some of these should probably be modified a little bit. Yeah, no, it's a cool VOD. Like, I think I'm really happy with it. I definitely didn't intend on doing that Donkey Kong stuff in addition. But, I mean, honestly... Cool. Found secret power? Nice. That's one of my favorite moves. Well, it used to be. Like, back in the Gen 3, Gen 4 days. Whoops. No! Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something. Yeah, secret power used to be one of my favorite moves. Because I don't think it's a surprise. Like, I mean, Bella, you've been here a while. I'm sure you know how I feel about some moves. But, like, things that are multifaceted are moves that I really like a lot. Like, secret power is learnable by a lot of Pokemon. It's a normal type move, so you can use it pretty easily. You can kind of spam it. And the ability to just have various, the ability to have various effects happen is pretty cool. It's not a super high chance, but, like, it's still decent enough. And especially for where you get it, too, it's like a really good early mid-game option. Once your Pokemon starts getting, like, better stab moves, then you can replace it, but... It's got plenty of power points. No, definitely good power. Not amazing power, but good. What do you mean no one in your team can use it? Like, that's such a usable TM by, like, almost anything. Jeez. Only one arcade machine, by the way. Alright, just the last few large relics. This has still taken a while, but at least doing 10 at once hasn't been that terrible. Like, it's added some time. We haven't been able to automate it quite as much. But still, we have been going about this for 3 hours. Let's identify them. No dupes on that one. Which makes sense. Like I said, everything should have roughly like a 2% chance or something to show up. Lefties. Oh, I got 2 more fairy feathers. It took 500, well, not 500, but it took like all of those small Lost Relics to get to the 1, and I just happened to get 2 more. That's insane. And 3 mystic waters. Four mystic waters, 3 sharp beaks. As Glimmet shows up. Yeah, Glimmet and Glamora, I gotta say, they've definitely become some more of my favorite, Paldean Pokemon. Five iron balls, dude. Well, the good news is, just in time for the DLC to release, I can now stop digging up items, which is nice. Whatever. We're just gonna go through these last few, I think. Because it is 10 to 3, and I'm getting tired. I've been live for nearly 8 hours between Donkey Kong Land and this crap. Still only the 2 fairy feathers. 1 quick claw, actually, which is fine because I got plenty of quick claws already. Tons of loaded dice. Like, I wonder if these really are all RNG or if some are weighed more. I feel like some items might be weighed a little bit more, and I don't know how or what those would be, but maybe by the end of this, things will look a little more common, but these sure don't look it. Hey, got another one of those. Only 1 nugget, by the way. But 7 iron balls and loaded dice. Two adrenaline orbs. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. So finally, after a couple hours of individual grading, of items, and then the last, I don't know, half hour or so of batch appraisals. Let's go ahead and check out the spoils. And then next time, we can actually go ahead and do stuff. Alright, now this should be everything that's small. Dude, stupid fireworks. Those. Okay, so this should be all of the large items. And here should be all of the smalls, plus a couple of other random things. So, with the large ones being the ones I had by far the most of, take a look at these. I had a ton, like way more of them than anything else. And my least amounts are the arcade machine and the spacesuit. No, actually, that's not true. My least amount is the fishing rod. My least amount is the fishing rod by far, which sucks because you need multiple fishing rods for multiple habitats. Like, I'm thinking of like 4, 5, like maybe 8 habitats that use the fishing rod. In fact, I got another one off stream that I'll go over later, but it uses the fishing rod in the fire and the magma. So like, you need a lot of those. The arcade machines didn't need too many, didn't need too many of it all. All of these, by far, I somehow ended up with 22 of the blue ones. And then only 8 of the red ones, which is crazy. Yeah, wild. And some of these, like, I've picked up a few from other sources, but none of them should be in this inventory space, so... Charizard rug is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But 17 Charizard rugs, which is cool. But yeah, Big Nugget, Spacesuit, Arcade Machine, Fishing Rod. And like, tell me why I got 13 cast form weather charms. Those could have been 13 other items. They did not need to be in the pool. At all. But most everything hit double digits, so that's pretty cool. Some stuff I wish hadn't, but you know what? That's okay. Then for the... Oh, you know what? I missed those. Okay, there we go. That makes these a little bit better. So, now, the fishing rod, spacesuit, and arcade machine, and Big Nugget are a 4-way tie for the things I got the least of. All with 5. So, like, there has to be some sort of skew. Because, I mean, look at these numbers. It's actually crazy to see how we had... I don't even know how many of the large ones we had, but genuinely speaking, some of these are very much more common than others. It can't be even distribution. And we're even seeing this in here too with things like the Nugget gold bottle cap. Like, tell me why I got 4 fairy feathers total, and most of those came from the batch ones that I just did. There's no way this is even distribution. Like, it makes sense that some numbers would be higher and some would be lower. But, like, 4 to 17? Yeah, some of these... Some of these are just wild. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 5. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. But in a test of 1,000 items total, give or take, at like 500 with one, 400 of the other, or like maybe more or less of both. Yeah, those are our spoils. So a couple things I do want to do before I end up signing off for the night. I want to do that. I've wanted to do this for so long. All of the mini-ore colors. Oh, that's so cool looking all together like that. That's actually so sick. I wish I could play with the camera a little bit more than this. Like, if I could pull it out just a little bit, that'd be so nice. Yeah, that's cool. That is really cool. For now, though, I'm gonna have to figure out how to organize these and do everything, because it's gonna be kind of a pain. But it's all pretty cool, and, yeah, I finally got all the mini-ore lamps. I'm really happy with that. I think that's so neat. Oh boy, what a freaking stream. Okay, but, yeah, that's more or less gonna do it. I guess I'll stick around and try and cross that 8-hour mark because we're at 7:54. God, there's so many freaking items. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out organization. This is gonna be terrible. I'm gonna get this because this has been driving me crazy. Thank you. Here's Louise. Oh, still up there? What happens now if I ring the bell? So what? Ho-Oh just, like, can I interact with Ho-Oh when it spawns now? I have no idea. I don't know. But anyway, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me. I no longer have to worry about these stupid glowing spots anymore. Because I've gotten all of the items except for maybe Bubbly Base will introduce some more. But, yeah, we're looking good. I also need to still get that Rostberry tree, which I'm trying to do soon. I don't know when the next time I'm going to stream this is going to be. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. I sure as hell don't want to promise anything because... Oh, boy. I'm pretty busy. I don't know how things are going to be looking for me going forward, but for now, But now I'm okay, you know? Now, things are alright, and there might be some better news on the horizon. But, anyway, yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and... God, that is a big shelf. Like, that is a really big shelf. And you can actually just add items to it. Can you just hang this onto any wall? Oh, I totally thought this would hang. I thought this was like a wall-mounted shelf. Darn. Instead, it's just a nice-looking, you know, modern art piece. Yeah, anyway. Like I said, I'm out of here, guys. Oh, wait, actually, what's this? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. Alright, anyway, that's gonna go ahead and do it for me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a hell of a stream. A nice, good 8-hour one. Haven't gotten to do one of these in a while. Yeah, Donkey Kong Land was super fun. I got a lot of viewers. I was really surprised about that. I'm happy that everybody seemed as interested in it as I did because, genuinely speaking, like, Donkey Kong Land 1, for as many issues as it had, and again, in the context of it being a Game Boy game, like a strictly Game Boy game in like what 95 or 96 whenever it came out, like there's a lot of context there, and it was fun to not only play it again, but also to revisit the original Donkey Kong Land and just have fun with it as a whole. But yeah, good stuff. The next time I stream, it'll probably be it'll be tomorrow or today, I guess, and it'll probably be Xenoblade because I really do want to go over Xenoblade while I've got some time and while it's still fresh. So tomorrow will probably be Xenoblade, and if Sats is available, we'll end up doing some Splatoon Raiders too. But who's really to say? Maybe we do Elliot too. I don't know. I feel like I spent a lot of time doing Xenoblade 1's DLC and not that much time, or like, but it wasn't really like as a whole that much time. So I don't know. Xenoblade 1 though does warrant a new playthrough with, especially with all the heart-to-hearts voiced. So maybe we'll do something with that soon. I don't know, but apparently it's also out physically, so I got to go to the store and see if I can find it physically. And I guess I also have to get started on Donkey Kong Bonanza too. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. This has been good. I'll catch you guys next time with some more of the usual stuff. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you all next time as we hit officially 8 hours total on, well, between both streams. Like, I mean, it was on Twitch, it was one stream, but on YouTube, it was 2 separate ones. It's been 8 hours. We're at 8 hours and 20 seconds now. So yeah, I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time with some stuff, and yeah, toodles.